What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Fireside Giants. I'm your host, Anthony Rivardo, joined by my co-host, Alex Wilson, and we're still pissed off about yesterday's loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. If you didn't see our reaction/recap video, we were upset. We are still upset. However, we are going to try and pull away a positive from this game. That positive is going to come in the form of Cam Scataboo. He had an excellent performance. Yeah, punching into people, literally spearheading people while diving into the end zone. The backflip, the celebration was awesome. He was electric. The New York Giants weren't, but he was. And so we do just want to talk about Cam Scataboo, give him his flowers, and discuss how impressive he was in this game and what his potential could be for the rest of the season and for the future with the New York Giants. So, Alex, how are you doing today, my friend? And what was your reaction to the way that Cam Scataboo battled in last night's game against the Chiefs?
Yeah, man, listen, expected results for the Giants, so I'm doing fine, numb to the pain at this point, but wanted to, second upload today with a little bit of positive energy regarding Cam Scataboo. And yeah, he's a rhinoceros, this dude, head first. Crazy style of play he has, but he energizes a group and he wants it. The Giants need more players that really care, that really buy in, that really want to win. Cam Scataboo plays the game that way, and I think that, for whoever is coaching this team down the road is going to love this kid. He just got so much moxie, so much personality, so much toughness, so much heart. Really, really like his game. And yesterday was fantastic. 10 carries for 60 yards, and he had, 6 receptions on 8 targets for 61 yards, and he also had a 13-yard rush. This is a player that came to play yesterday. He was the only guy on that team that showed he wanted it on offense. He had his name called, and obviously he answered the call. And Tyrone Tracy just reported that he has a dislocated shoulder, so he's going to be out for probably months. That's not something you recover from easily, especially as the running back position where you have to use that shoulder to fend off tacklers. So prayers up to Tyrone Tracy. Hopefully he makes a quick and speedy recovery and can return this season. But in the meantime, it's Cam Scataboo's show. It is his game, and I'm pretty excited to see what he can do.
I'm super excited to see what Cam Scataboo can do, but I do want to comment on Tyrone Tracy Jr. because I do feel like this is a huge loss for the New York Giants offense. It's kind of ironic, Alex. Giants fans, ourselves included, complained about Tyrone Tracy Jr. being out there on kickoffs and how that's going to leave him susceptible to potential injuries that he could suffer on the kickoff. They take him off of the kickoffs. They seemingly listen to us. Devin Singletary goes out there on kickoffs instead, and then he just gets injured anyway as a running back, which is just a terrible string of bad luck, and also just speaks to the painful irony that the New York Giants are plagued with, and bad karma, whatever you want to call it. But Tracy looked good last night before he got injured. Tracy's looked good all season. Tracy's looked good since last season. Tyrone Tracy Jr. is a good player, so I don't want to downplay this. Yes, we're excited about Cam Scataboo, and there's a lot to like there, but this is a pretty big loss for the New York Giants offense. Tyrone Tracy Jr. is one of the most exciting young players on this team. He's elusive. He has good vision. He's a strong runner. Really like Tyrone Tracy and really wishing him the best of luck in his recovery and hoping that it is a speedy one, because I think he is a very impactful player in this New York Giants offense. And now the Giants don't have a lot of depth at running back either. Cam Scataboo, Devin Singletary, and they don't have a third running back on this roster once Tyrone Tracy Jr. likely heads to injured reserve. So I don't know if we're going to see Turbo Miller get called up, if the Giants are going to go ahead and sign a veteran in free agency. I don't know what it's going to be. Jonathan Ward was a player who was on their roster during the preseason as well. They're going to have to add more talent at running back, but like you said, this is now the Cam Scataboo show. It's Cam Scataboo's world, and we're all living in it, and this is a world that I like to live in because Scataboo is one exciting football player. So, Alex, when I watch Cam Scataboo play, I get the impression, and I've said this once before and I'll say it again, I get the impression that he is trying his best to acquire CTE as fast as humanly possible. And I love it. I think the way that he plays is awesome. He puts his head down, he plays with tenacity, he plays with anger, he plays with power. Those are the things that New York Giants players just don't play with anymore. He brings what the New York Giants are missing to their offense, which again is that energy. So what do you feel about that energy, Alex, is going to be so impactful going forward? Now that Scataboo's in that leading role, he is the RB1. How does he take that? How does that rub off, hopefully, on the rest of this offense as they try to be better?
It's a great question. And listen, we're going to see Jackson Dart really, really soon. So this offense is going to have 2 rookies on it. And then you have Marcus Bowe, too, who played a good chunk yesterday. I don't think he'll be starting much longer just because Andrew Thomas is returned. But you're going to have two rookies at two of the most important positions on your offense, kind of starting the rest of the season. I said before the season even began, Cam Scataboo was going to be a 50-50 share with Tyron Tracy by midseason. I clearly, that was a hot take at the time. Now extremely cold. He's now RB1 due to injury, but he already was splitting reps with Tracy for the most part. And Tracy looked good yesterday before that injury, so we'll give him his flowers there. Like he still has a lot of value to this team. When he returns from this injury, he'll be back in the mix for sure. But Cam Scataboo's style of game, he makes tacklers miss. He bounces off tackles. He gets stopped in the gap, and he can roll out and still manage to pick up extra yards. He backpedals into yards. He bounces it outside. He just is a little battering ram. It's a really fun watch. Watching Cam Scataboo play football is really fun. It really is reminiscent of vintage Giants football. Hard-nosed, badass, hard-hitting Giants football. Giants need more guys like that, and Cam Scataboo embodies that exactly. So at least there is some sort of identity to this Giants run game, and he's an underrated receiver. 6 receptions on 8 targets for 60 yards. They basically were just feeding. He led the team in receptions and yards yesterday by far. So, looking at his value, what he brings to this team, it's multifaceted. He's actually an underrated pass protector so far this year, too. He's had a couple of big blitz pickups. He's not afraid to get in the mix. His game does scare me because it doesn't lend itself well to the longevity of his career. But listen, the Giants got no time to waste. They need guys like that to step up and start performing, and he is one of the few bright spots on this team so far.
He is, and like you said, one of the few. I mean, Scataboo on offense is kind of the entire offense now. At least he was last night. So, I mean, it's sad to say, but he was the whole receiving game. He was the whole rushing game yesterday. But, I think that there are moments where when you watch this Giants offense, Alex, that you do see flashes of potential. Obviously, in week 2, we saw plenty of flashes with the moon balls to Russ and Wandale, or from Russ to Neighbors, with Wandale having a big breakout game. And now in week 3, we do see the emergence here of Cam Scataboo. And one thing that I think is so impressive about Cam Scataboo is his ability to find the end zone from within the red zone. That's 2 weeks in a row now that he's scored a touchdown in the red zone. He's the only member of the New York Giants that has scored a red zone touchdown this season. Yeah, that's right. That's a real statistic. He has 2 touchdowns in the red zone. Those are the only 2 touchdowns that the Giants have in the red zone this season. I think the power that he runs with and his determination to find the extra yards in each play, that's what helps him get into the end zone. And again, that's something that's missing from all of the New York Giants offensive players, I think. So I am excited, though, by the potential for Scataboo to become a legitimate red zone threat here for the next several years as he, evolves into this leading role for the New York Giants.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, when he's in the red zone, he just sees red. All he sees is end zone, goal line. I'm getting to that goal line. The effort he displays needs to be contagious. That needs to be contagious. And look, if I was Brian Daboll, if I was the head coach of the Giants, I'd be looking at everybody saying, this is a 4th-round rookie, and he plays with his heart. You guys should all be doing the freaking same. Let this guy be your example. This is what winning looks like. This is what, effort looks like. I don't care if you're tired. I don't care if you're beaten up. I don't care if you're bruised. Wins translate. You want to make money in this league. You want to have a career in this league. You got to play like it. And I think that Cam Scataboo embodies that. I'm really happy to have him for 4 years on a rookie contract. Really excited to see him and Dart. As you mentioned, if you've watched the previous episode before this, kind of reacting to the game yesterday, it's a girthy episode. Anthony, one of the things you said that really does kind of parlay into this one is some of the best plays the Giants had was when Dart and Scataboo were on the field together. So I think that when those two guys are both out there and really the offense is getting a little bit more unique, a little bit more creative, a little bit more dynamic, Scataboo's game could actually evolve. It could be even better than what we've seen right now. So I'm pretty excited to see when Dart does take over. I wonder if Scataboo takes a big step forward with him. And if that's a big step forward, this guy could actually be a bell cow RB1 style player in a league format. I'm not talking about the Giants RB1. I'm talking about in the league. You look around and say, wow, this guy is that guy is this. You look at just some of the best running backs in football. I think Scataboo could be up there with them if this offense changes to really exercise everybody and really maximize every talent. If everyone's clicking, Scataboo is going to open up the whole running game. It's going to open up the passing game. It's going to open up everything. And do you think that they could take a step forward here, that Scataboo's game could actually improve when Dart takes over?
I 100% agree with you. I'm really excited about the potential of the Dart and Scataboo duo, not only just because of the things that you mentioned, how it opens things up for the Giants offense, but also I think that the energy we're talking about from Cam Scataboo, Jackson Dart has some of that too. And they're really close. They're close friends. They're probably the best friends in that locker room right now. And I think that they're going to be really excited when they do get to take the field together in an extended role for Jackson Dart, when they do get to be the leading guys in that New York Giants offense. I think that energy is going to feed off of one another. I think Dart's going to feed off of Scataboo. Scataboo's going to feed off of Dart. And I think that they can combine here to become a really exciting duo for the rest of the season for the New York Giants. Now, again, we're not expecting a ton of wins. It's not going to be a good season for the Giants, but we do have to get that rookie quarterback out there sooner or later. And once he is on the field, Dart with his best friend Scataboo next to him in the backfield, that's going to be fun to watch. That is going to be exciting. That should be a glimpse into the future, hopefully, for the New York Giants if both of these kids can continue this pace and look good down the stretch of the season. So, yeah, I'm with you. I think that schematically, putting Dart on the field opens things up for the Giants and allows them to use different parts of their playbook that they can't utilize with Russell Wilson due to a lack of speed and athleticism. Dart has that. And I think you saw that especially against Dallas. There was the zone read where Cam Scataboo got down to the 1 yard line. On that play, when Dart handed it off, he then ran to the left, and that linebacker completely followed Dart, opened up a big hole for Scataboo. He got down to the 1, and I think, again, we saw it on those couple of reps where Scataboo and Dart were on the field together in week 3 versus the Chiefs. So I want to see more of that, and I definitely want to see Jackson Dart throw some dimes, throw some darts, whatever you want to call them. I can't wait to see Jackson Dart take the field with Scataboo. So that's going to be exciting. And until then, we're going to give you guys some more analysis. I'm going to do some film breakdowns on Scataboo, so stay tuned for that. That's going to be a fun one. I can't wait to look at the All-22 on Cam Scataboo and more of the All-22 for the rest of these New York Giants players. So make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you're new, ring the bell so you don't miss an episode, and comment your thoughts down below in the comment section. Listen to Apple or Spotify, make sure to leave us a 5-star review. Go ahead and follow us on all of our social media channels at Fireside Giants. Without further ado, catch you all on the next one. Have a good one, and let's go New York Giants.
Perfect.